Okay, pay attention, Double O Susan. Right, new season, new cards and stuff like that. What's going on? It's all changed, so you not able to play some of your decks because a lot of the cards have gone out of sequence, if you like. You can still play them, but only on historic and stuff like that, not standard. Okay, this deck is based around giants. I managed to swap a few rare cards and this, that, and the other. Okay, first card, Glimpse of the Cosmos. Glimpse the Cosmos. Look at the top three cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So basically you get what card you need there and then with this card. It costs two. Cathartic Pyre. Now this is really, really useful if you got this at the beginning of your deck. Cathartic Pyre deals either 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. You can get rid of a creature that looks like, it looks like a serious threat. They could beef him up, whatever. Or you can discard 2 cards in your hand. Maybe you've got too many expensive cards in your hand, and then draw that many cards. So you can swap 2 for 2 and get cards out that you need. We got we got 9 of these sorts of cards, 3 of each. Expressive Irritation. Now the way to play this card, Expressive Iteration. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Okay, you put one of them into your hand, put one of them in the bottom of your library, and the one that you don't really need at that time, and exile one of them. You may play that this turn. So the clever thing to do with this card is, if you're going to play this card, don't play a land card first, okay? Because what you do is you exile the land card, leave the land card till last, and then play it. Because you can play, unless you've got a shitload of lands and this card comes up and you can afford to pay for the card. But it's a very useful card. So if it comes in early, don't play a land. Play the land, exile the land, play the land, that go. Giant's Grasp. This is a lovely card. Enchant giant you control, okay? And when Giant Grass enters the battlefield, gain control of a target non-land permanent for as long as Giant Grass remains on the battlefield. So as long as your giant that has this card is still alive, you have that permanent. Now, we say permanent, it could be not just a creature. It could be one of those cards that they've got rid that's irritating you, an enchantment, say, or a planeswalker. You can take that card with this card. Basalt Ravager. Okay, we got some giants. When Basalt Ravager enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to any target where X is a greater number of creature types you control that have a creature type in common. All your creatures have one thing in common, giants. So that beefs him up quite a bit if you've got some. Calamity Bearer. Now, if a giant source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals damage that double that damage to a permanent or player instead. Bear this in mind because it really does win games. Sometimes they've got defense. Don't be afraid to attack. This becomes a 6/8 creature, and so double your Craven Hulk will become an 8/8 creature. And if you've got 2 of these, this becomes a 16/16 creature. This becomes a 12/12 creature, and so on and so forth. Quakebreaker. Don't be afraid to let this creature die, because if it's in your graveyard, it still does 2 damage as long as you've got a giant on the playing field. Force Squash is a lot cheaper to play when you've got a giant on the battlefield. Battle of Frost and Fire. This is a lovely enchantment. It deals 4 damage to each non-giant creature and each planeswalker. Right? And then on the second go you scry 3 cards. And on the third go, whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater this turn, draw 2 cards and then discard a card. We've got a couple of Inescapable Blaze. Just in case you get their life down to less than 6, you can do 6 damage to a creature and so on and so forth. We've got 2 of these couple of tough guys. Cinderheart Giant It deals 7 damage to a creature an opponent controls chosen at random when it dies. It's also got trample. Okay, got 7 islands, 15 mountains, 2 river glide pathway. We could do with some more of these, but we need to trade some more cards in which you haven't got because I've used them all up. Okay, so it's taken a while to explain this, so I'm going to make another video now and show it against Sparky, demonstrate it a couple of games against Sparky. Okay.